The musty aroma of aging books enveloped me as I stepped into the antiquated bookstore that lay hidden on the outskirts of our little town. Its exterior was unassuming, with weathered wooden planks and a creaky sign that barely clung to the facade. Inside the dimly lit space was a treasure trove of forgotten stories, each volume harboring secrets and tales of bygone eras. As my eyes scanned the haphazardly arranged shelves, my fingers traced the spines of dusty tomes, each whispering promises of adventure and mystery. But it wasn't a book that first caught my attention. It was a journal, an old leather-bound relic nestled among a stack of forgotten papers. The journal's pages, yellowed with age and brittle to the touch, bore the scrawlings of a man named Samuel Whitman. My curiosity piqued. I giddily retrieved the journal from its resting place. Its cover bore the scars of time, and as I flipped open the pages, the delicate fragrance of antiquity filled the air. Whitman's words, written with an elegant flourish of ink, would transport me into the depths of an enigma I could scarcely fathom. The journal told of a peculiar phenomenon that had consumed Whitman's thoughts and led him on a quest into the heart of the unknown. It spoke of a town, Elmsworth, concealed deep within the impenetrable embrace of a dense forest. Elmsworth was described as a place ensnared in time's unyielding grasp, where the minutes and hours were frozen, untouched by the relentless march of years. The tale took a surreal twist when Whitman revealed the town's peculiar nature. It only manifested itself on the first night of the harvest moon, and by the break of dawn it would dissolve into nothingness, leaving no trace of its existence. It was a place that danced on the precipice of reality and the surreal, where the boundaries of possibility blurred into the realm of the inexplicable. The journal's pages seemed to beckon me, as if Whitman's words were a siren's call, and I, the unsuspecting sailor, drawn toward the treacherous shores of curiosity. The legend of Elmsworth, with its tantalizing promise of uncovering the enigma of a town lost in time, had ensnared my imagination. Leaving the bookstore with the journal cradled in my hands, I knew that I had embarked on a journey that would alter the very fabric of my reality. The sun hung low on the horizon, casting long shadows that stretched across the cobblestone streets of our quaint town. Its golden rays bathed the world in a warm, nostalgic glow, but my thoughts were consumed by the enigmatic tale that had found its way into my life. As I delved deeper into Whitman's writings, I couldn't help but wonder about the nature of Elmsworth. Was it a place that defied the laws of time and space, a portal to another dimension, or the whimsical creation of a vivid imagination? The journal offered no definitive answers, only hints and fragments of a puzzle waiting to be solved. With each page I turned, my curiosity grew, and the legend of Elmsworth began to permeate my very being. It was a siren's call that beckoned me toward the unknown, a mystery that demanded unraveling. I knew then that I couldn't resist the allure of Elmsworth, and a journey into the heart of the disappearing town became an inevitability, an obsession that would consume my thoughts and unravel the very fabric of my reality. The forest that cradled Elmsworth was a world unto itself, an emerald expanse of towering trees that reached for the heavens with gnarled limbs. It beckoned with an irresistible allure, its entrance marked by a canopy of lush greenery that seemed to stretch endlessly. As I ventured deeper into the woods, a sense of foreboding settled over me, one that was amplified by the fading light of the evening sun. The forest swallowed the sounds of civilization, leaving behind only the symphony of nature, a chorus of rustling leaves, chirping insects, and the distant calls of unseen creatures. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, each inhalation filling my lungs with the primeval essence of the woods. Every footstep was accompanied by the soft crunch of leaves and twigs, the forest floor carpeted with the remnants of autumns long past. The path I followed was overgrown and seemingly forgotten, a labyrinthine trail that wound its way through the heart of the forest. The sky above, painted in hues of crimson and gold as the sun dipped below the horizon, cast elongated shadows that seemed to dance with the trees, creating an eerie but mesmerizing ballet of light and darkness. The journey through the woods was an experience of contrasts, moments of hushed serenity followed by sudden bursts of rustling leaves, as if the very forest were alive and whispering its secrets. It was a place where time seemed to bend, where the boundary between reality and the mystical blurred into obscurity. As I ventured further, the path gradually widened, revealing a clearing bathed in the ethereal glow of the harvest moon. It was here, in the heart of this moon-kissed glade, that I caught my first glimpse of Elmsworth, a sight that would remain etched in my memory forever. The town lay before me, its cobblestone streets gleaming like polished onyx under the silvery moonlight. Gaslit lanterns, reminiscent of a bygone era, cast warm, flickering halos of light that danced on the facades of historic buildings. Elmsworth was a place where time itself had been arrested, a living relic of a past era. With a sense of reverence, I stepped into the town, my footsteps echoing through its deserted streets. Curtains adorned the windows of homes, tables were set for dinners that would never be consumed, and a child's swing swayed gently in the breeze as if guided by the hand of an unseen phantom. It was a tableau frozen in time, a town that had slipped into an eternal slumber. Yet, despite its picturesque appearance, there was an unsettling undercurrent, the town's eerie silence. It was as if the very air held its breath, waiting for something to happen, an anticipation that hung heavy in the atmosphere. As the hours passed, the moon continued its celestial journey across the night sky, and I became increasingly aware of the impending dawn. Elmsworth, it seemed, was governed by a celestial clock, and with each passing minute, the town's enigma deepened. Then, as the first rays of dawn began to tinge the horizon with a delicate shade of pink, Elmsworth began to fade. Buildings dissolved into mist, streets blurred into nothingness, and the town vanished before my eyes, as if it had been a mirage all along. I stood in the empty clearing, my heart a mixture of awe and dread. The disappearing town had revealed itself once more, but its secrets remained tantalizingly out of reach. I knew that my journey had only just begun, and the enigma of Elmsworth beckoned me deeper into its mysteries. My relentless pursuit of Elmsworth had transformed into an all-consuming obsession. Night after night, I returned to the forest, my steps guided by a singular purpose: to unravel the mysteries concealed within its depths. Whitman's journal had become my trusted companion, its pages a well-worn map, leading me deeper into the enigma of the disappearing town. As I ventured into the woods, the path grew increasingly overgrown, nature's attempt to conceal the secrets it guarded. Twisting roots seemed to reach out to trip me, and low-hanging branches clawed at the air, eager to snatch away my progress. Yet I pressed on, each step a declaration of my unwavering determination. The forest had an uncanny way of playing with one's senses. The rustling leaves whispered ancient secrets, the hoots of distant owls seemed like ghostly chants, and the flickering fireflies danced like ethereal spirits guiding my way. Shadows shifted and danced with the moonlight, creating an otherworldly ballet that blurred the lines between reality and the mystical. The map, a fragile parchment aged by time, had become my beacon. Its cryptic symbols and annotations hinted at a hidden world waiting to be discovered. It was as if the forest itself conspired to guide me deeper into the heart of the mystery, to unlock the enigma of Elmsworth. Finally, the map led me to a secluded glade, bathed in the silvery light of the harvest moon. It was a place that existed at the crossroads of reality and the mystical, where the boundaries between worlds seemed to blur into obscurity. Hidden beneath a blanket of moss and leaves lay the object of my relentless pursuit, a stone archway, ancient and weathered, its presence a profound mystery. The portal stood before me, a threshold to Elmsworth, and with each passing moment, the enigmatic town drew closer, as if it were a living entity responding to my presence. My heart pounded with trepidation and excitement as I approached the stone archway, its surface cool to the touch, like the hand of a long-forgotten friend. With a deep breath, I crossed the threshold and stepped into the heart of Elmsworth. The town materialized before me, bathed in the gentle, silvery glow of the harvest moon. Its cobblestone streets glistened like polished obsidian, and gaslit lanterns cast warm, flickering halos of light that painted the facades of historic buildings. Elmsworth was a place where time had been arrested, a living relic of a past era. This time, I was determined to bear witness to the town's transformation, to unlock the truth that had eluded me for so long. As the hours unfolded, I watched in awe as Elmsworth's buildings shifted and waned like specters in the night. The town's ethereal beauty was illuminated by the harvest moon, and it seemed to breathe with a life of its own. But this time, I was not alone. Figures began to appear on the streets, shadowy, ethereal forms that moved with a grace that defied the laws of nature. They were the inhabitants of Elmsworth, the enigmatic souls who called this place their home. The figure turned to me, its eyes filled with a sorrowful wisdom. "We are the keepers of Elmsworth, trapped between two worlds," it replied, its voice a haunting whisper. "This town is a sanctuary for lost souls, a place where time stands still, but it is not meant for the living." The figure's words sent a chill down my spine, a realization that I had ventured into a realm beyond my understanding. Elmsworth was not merely a town frozen in time. It was a liminal space, a bridge between the living and the dead. As the night wore on, I listened to the stories of Elmsworth's inhabitants, each one a haunting tale of lives cut short and dreams left unfulfilled. They spoke of their connection to the town, of the solace they found in its timeless embrace. But with every passing moment, the impending dawn loomed closer, and I knew that my time in Elmsworth was drawing to an end. As the forest embraced me in its shadowy embrace, I knew that my quest was far from over. The disappearing town had become a part of my own story, a tale I would carry with me for the rest of my days, a reminder that there were enigmas in this world that defied explanation, that the boundaries of reality were not always as clear-cut as they seemed. As the first light of dawn painted the horizon in delicate shades of pink and gold, I watched in solemn silence as the figures of Elmsworth began to fade once more. Their ethereal forms dissolved into mist, like fragile dreams slipping through the grasp of reality. The town itself followed suit, its buildings and streets blurring into nothingness, and I was left standing in the empty clearing, bathed in the fading moonlight. The sense of loss was palpable as I watched Elmsworth vanish before my eyes. It was a sight that I had become intimately familiar with, yet it still held a haunting beauty, a town suspended in the liminal space between existence and oblivion. With a heavy heart, I turned away from the fading memory of Elmsworth and made my way back through the forest, retracing the path that had led me here. The woods seemed to echo with the secrets they held, a chorus of rustling leaves and distant whispers that filled the air. My journey had taken me deeper into the enigma of Elmsworth, and while I had uncovered some of its mysteries, many questions remained unanswered. What lay beyond the portal? Why was the town a sanctuary for lost souls? And most importantly, was there a way to bridge the gap between the living and the dead? As I emerged from the forest and into the first light of dawn, a sense of both fulfillment and yearning washed over me. The disappearing town had become a part of my own story, a tale I would carry with me for the rest of my days. It was a reminder that there were enigmas in this world that defied explanation, that the boundaries of reality were not always as clear-cut as they seemed. With each step that carried me away from the forest, I knew that my quest was far from over. The mysteries of Elmsworth still beckoned, their allure irresistible. I had glimpsed a world that existed on the fringes of comprehension, a realm where the living and the dead converged in a dance of twilight and moonlight. My thoughts were consumed by the enigma of Elmsworth as I made my way back to the world of the living, to the familiar streets of our quaint town, bathed in the gentle warmth of the morning sun. I knew that the disappearing town would forever haunt my dreams, a riddle that would forever challenge my perception of reality. In the end, I had discovered not only the mysteries of Elmsworth, but also the mysteries within myself, an insatiable curiosity, a relentless drive to seek the unknown, and an understanding that some enigmas were not meant to be unraveled. And so, as I stood at the edge of the forest, I bid farewell to Elmsworth, the ghostly phenomenon that had consumed my thoughts and challenged my perception of reality. It was a place out of time, a sanctuary for lost souls, and a mystery that would forever be etched into the tapestry of my life. I turned away from the forest and made my way back to the world of the living. The disappearing town had become a part of my own story, a tale of curiosity and wonder, of the inexplicable and the unknown. And as I walked away, I knew that the enigma of Elmsworth would forever linger in the corners of my mind, a reminder that there were secrets in this world waiting to be discovered, mysteries that would forever challenge the boundaries of reality.